unfold. All right, let's just dive right into one of the biggest and, frankly, most unsettling questions we can possibly ask about our place in the universe. And that question is, why does it seem like we're so completely alone?
For decades now, we've been pointing our radio telescopes at the stars, listening, just hoping to catch a single whisper from another civilization out there. But all we've ever heard back is just silence, a deep, profound cosmic silence. And that silence, well, it's created a really chilling paradox. Take a look at that number, 2 trillion. That's the best guess for how many galaxies are in the observable universe. And each one of those has billions of stars, and we now know planets are pretty much everywhere. I mean, the sheer numbers suggest the cosmos should be absolutely teeming with life. And yet, we found nothing. Not a single shred of evidence of another technological species.
So this isn't just a lack of an answer anymore. For scientists, this silence is now a critical piece of data. It strongly suggests that something out there is preventing life from getting to our stage or beyond. It's painting a picture of the universe not as a cosmic cradle of life, but as a cosmic graveyard.
And this brings us to the prime suspect in our cosmic mystery, the Great Filter. It's this theoretical barrier, this hurdle so incredibly hard to get past that almost nobody makes it. This is the thing, the mechanism, that could be keeping that cosmic graveyard so quiet. And here's where it gets really terrifying. The biggest question about the Great Filter is, where is it? Is it something in our deep, evolutionary past that we've already miraculously survived? Or is it still waiting for us, somewhere in our future? Are we a lonely miracle? Or are we just walking toward our own execution?
So, let's play detective. We're going to start our investigation right here, at the scene of the crime, this eerily quiet universe. We're going to hunt for clues to see if we can figure out where this filter might be hiding. And our first stop is the distant past.
Okay, let's start by looking backwards. Is it possible the Great Filter is some kind of biological gauntlet? Something so unbelievably difficult that we've already passed it, against all odds? Honestly, this is the most optimistic answer we could hope for.
So to figure this out, some scientists use what they call a hard steps model for life. You can see the basic idea here. It suggests a whole series of evolutionary hurdles, from the jump from non-life to simple cells, to that massive leap to complex cells like ours, and so on. The theory is that any one of these steps could be so ridiculously improbable that most life in the universe just gets stuck somewhere along the way.
And here's a perfect example of one of those hurdles. For about 2 billion years, life on Earth was just slime. Simple bacteria. That's it. The jump from those simple cells to the complex ones that make you and me and every animal and plant, it looks like it was a 1 in a billion freak accident that only happened once. This suggests the universe might be full of slime worlds that never ever evolve anything more complex.
Now, this leads to a really weird, counterintuitive idea. If we go to Mars and find simple microbial life, that would be terrible news. Why? Because it would mean that the first step, getting life started, isn't the filter. And if the filter isn't behind us in our past, it has to be waiting for us, up ahead. So in a strange way, the best thing for humanity's future would be to find that Mars is completely, totally dead.
But what if the filter isn't in our past? Well, that leads us to a much, much darker place. What if we just haven't hit it yet? This brings us to our next big suspect, the idea that advanced civilizations inevitably create the very tools of their own destruction. This theory puts the Great Filter right in front of us.
It's something called the vulnerable world hypothesis. The idea is that technology is like pulling balls out of a giant urn. Most are good for you, white balls. Some are mixed, but eventually you might pull out a black ball, an invention so powerful and dangerous that it almost guarantees your own collapse. Think about things like rogue AI or a lab-created plague.
And this quote right here, it just perfectly describes the problem with creating a true artificial superintelligence. It's a top candidate for a Great Filter. If we build something vastly smarter than us, but its goals aren't exactly the same as ours, it might not destroy us because it hates us. It might just get rid of us because we're in the way of its goal. Like you'd pave over an anthill to build a highway.
Or how about this for a trap? Energy. Our entire industrial society was built on a one-time inheritance of cheap, easy-to-get fossil fuels. If we burn through all of that before we build a truly sustainable, renewable energy system,
well, a reboot might just be impossible. We'd be stuck in a pre-industrial state on this planet forever.
So, we've looked at filters in our biological past and filters we might create for ourselves. But what if the real danger isn't a fluke of biology or a flaw in our own species? What if the danger is other species? This brings us to our final and maybe the most terrifying suspect for the Great Filter. This is the dark forest hypothesis. It applies cold, hard game theory to the entire cosmos. It argues that the silence we hear, it's tactical. In a universe where you can never be 100% sure of another civilization's true intentions, the only logical winning strategy for survival is to wipe out any other life you find before it has a chance to wipe you out first.
And if that's true, then all of our radio signals, our messages into space, they aren't a friendly hello. They're like a toddler shouting in the middle of a dark forest filled with silent, hidden hunters. The silence of the universe isn't a mystery, it's a survival strategy. And it's one we've been too young and too naive to learn. Anyone who makes a sound gets eliminated. A similar idea suggests we might just be living on borrowed time. There could be what are called grabby aliens out there, civilizations that are expanding relentlessly across the galaxy. And the only reason we're still here is because we happen to be in a quiet bubble of space they just haven't gotten to yet. We're not alone, we're just unharvested.
So after all that, our investigation has left us with a verdict of 3 equally chilling possibilities. The silence could mean isolation, that we are totally, completely alone, the winners of an impossible lottery. It could mean self-destruction, that we are our own worst enemy, destined to fail. Or it could mean predation, that we are prey and we're making way too much noise.
In the end, maybe the Great Silence isn't a mystery we're supposed to solve. Maybe it's a message we're supposed to hear. It could be the collective quiet of a trillion worlds that face the exact same tests we're facing right now and failed. And that silence asks us a very simple question: what are we going to do differently?